It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
What's happening, everybody? It is showtime. Geno Jones, showtime. All right, everybody, I'm always excited, always amped. The Geno Jones Show, man, we got a killer show for you. We are bringing the smoke like we do every day. So I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. out on the West Coast. Please subscribe to the Geno Jones Show here on the Geno Jones channel. You, and everybody you know, everybody that you love, that you like, that you really ain't that crazy about, folks you can't stand, folks you hate. I don't care. I don't give a damn. Tell them all. The best, the biggest, the baddest in the business is the Geno Jones Show. Programming note, my guest on Thursday is going to be R&B superstar crooner Kenny Lattimore. New music, and I think he's about to have a new baby, him and his latest wife. So we'll talk about Judge Faith from the television show. So we'll talk about all that on Thursday. So we just got a big week. All right, everybody. So first of all, speaking of superstars, let's talk about the GOAT, the tennis GOAT. GOAT as in acronym for the greatest of all time. Shout out to my sister, Serena Williams. She is not done yet. Don't sleep on Serena. She was on that court last night. The game was tight. She's like, hold on, y'all. I ain't done yet, damn it. So she won last night, the U.S. Open up in Flushing Meadows, the Queens section of New York City. It was a first-round match, so congratulations to Serena. Now, tomorrow, Wednesday, Serena and Venus are going to play a doubles match. They haven't done that in a long time, so this is going to be your last chance, probably. Well, maybe one of your last chances, because it depends on how far they go in the doubles tournament. Hopefully, they'll win the doubles tournament, and Serena will win the U.S. Open singles tournament. That would be the coup de grace. So, Serena and Venus tomorrow, sometime in the day, they got a doubles match. Then later in the evening, tomorrow, Wednesday night, Serena has her second round match against the number 2 seed in the tournament in the U.S. Open, somebody named Annette Contavet. I believe it's Contavet. Well, I didn't get the phonetic pronunciation, so that's what it looks like. Annette. It's like a net without the E at the end, and then Contavet. So, Serena, we are rooting for you, my sister. Do your thing, girl. Do your thing. Thug-ism. Happy birthday today, August 30th. Michael Michelle. Now, who is Michael Michelle? So, how many of you all are fans of New Jack City? Wesley Snipes, he was just a low-down, just scandalous, no good, dirty dog, straight criminal. He played the hell out of that role. Yeah, he did. So, Nino Brown. Nino, we are our brother's keepers. G Money. So, Nino Brown, the character, Wesley Snipes, New Jack City, his girl, he was like his main girlfriend. Now, yeah, he was messing with G Money's woman, and he was just, like I said, he was just a low-down dirty dog. So the actress that played Nino Brown's main girlfriend, her name is Michelle Michael. She's been in other movies and TV shows, but I figured who doesn't like New Jack? Even if you didn't like it, you saw it. So, you remember her. So Michael Michelle is 56 today. Trevor Jackson. Now you're saying, who is Trevor Jackson? So there was the original movie Superfly back in the 70s with my man Ron O'Neal, rest in peace, power and paradise, the ultimate Superfly. And the ultimate soundtrack by rest in peace, power and paradise from the south side of Chicago, the legendary Curtis Mayfield, a bad man. That Superfly soundtrack arguably is the greatest movie soundtrack. Now I know I'm gonna hear Car Wash, and I'm gonna hear Purple Rain, and I might get some for Boomerang, but man, that Superfly soundtrack, oh my God. Curtis Mayfield was a bad, bad man. He was a member of a group called The Impressions back in the day in Chicago. Then he went solo. Freddie's dead. Dun-dun-dun. 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 That's what I said. Come on, man. What? Curtis Mayfield, that soundtrack. Oh, my God. And then the album cover, and it had Sheila Frazier. And yeah. I remember that album cover. I stared at that album cover many a day and night. So anyway, so we're not talking about that Superfly movie. So there was a redo of a Superfly movie like in the early 2000s or 2010s. And it was like, okay, this really, but anyway, the dude that played Priest was Superfly. That was the character's name, Priest. And it was a brother named Trevor Jackson who played Priest in the newer version, the newer edition of Superfly. He's 26 today. And on this day in 1953, one of the funniest dudes on the planet, speaking of Chicago, south side of Chicago native, Baby's Kids. Gotta go. My man Robin Harris was born on this day in 1953. Listen, when you saw Bernie Mac, and rest in peace, power and paradise to my dear friend, my former neighbor, Bernie. Bernie would tell you that one of his biggest influences was Robin Harris. Now, you saw Robin Harris, of course, in Harlem Nights, but man, listen, Robin Harris was a beast. As a matter of fact, there's a comedy album that Robin Harris did like in the early 90s, I believe. Get that comedy album. But anybody that knows anything about comedy, look, you can't mention the greats and not forget, or you can't mention the greats without mentioning his name. So don't forget it. Don't forget him. How could you? Mr. Baby's Kids. We don't die, we multiply. Robin Harris, 53, so he would have been, he'd have been 69 if he was still living today. Died back in 1990. That died and left us way too soon. And on this day in 1948, Chairman Fred Hampton, he was the chairman of the Illinois Black Panther Party, was born on this day in 1948. He was murdered by the Chicago Police Department, members of the Chicago Police Department with some feds, I don't know, FBI, CIA. Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, if you've seen the movie Judas and the Black Messiah. And if you haven't seen it, you got to see it. It is a great movie. You learn everything. You can learn a lot about, because that's really what went down on the west side of Chicago, right there on Madison and Western Avenue on the west side of Chicago, probably about a mile from where the United Center is, where the Chicago Bulls play and won 6 championships. Then it wasn't the United Center. It was the Chicago Stadium back in the day. Anyway, rest in peace, power. Happy heavenly birthday to Robin Harris, and happy heavenly birthday to Chairman Fred Hampton, murdered in 1969. Was only 21 years old. Man, this brother accomplished a lot in such a short period of time because people were afraid of him, because he had a message that didn't just appeal to black folks. See, people sleep on the Black Panthers. Do your homework. His message, he had developed alliances with even racist white folks. He'd even met with the Klan and talked to them. They was like, hey, this is like, y'all, dude, y'all ass is poor. These white folks with money don't like y'all ass either. Who does that sound like today? Oh, the MAGA cult. And President Joe Biden called out the MAGA cult. He said, look, you can't be Blue Lives Matter and then attacking police on January 6th. So you can't have it both ways. If Blue Lives Matter, then you can't be threatening and trying to kill FBI agents with your hypocritical, lying dumbasses. Well, okay, I'm paraphrasing. Biden didn't. That's what he wanted to say. He didn't say that, but I'm saying it for him. I'm like his muse. He is speaking through me. Anyway, check out the movie. If you haven't seen it, if you have, you know what I'm talking about. Judas and the Black Messiah. You can learn a lot about Chairman Fred Hampton, the chairman of the Illinois Black Panther Party. Now listen, you heard me talking about it yesterday. Speaking of the MAGA cult, Senator Lindsey Graham of this state of South Carolina had the nerve And then I heard he's trying to back. Well, no, I'm not. I wasn't calling for violence. Yo, you are a lie. You are a lie. As my grandmother said, you are a lie and the truth isn't in you. Now, she wouldn't say this part, with your lying ass. You were calling for a riot. You knew exactly, because you said it. You said there's going to be riots in the streets if Trump is indicted. Hell, if he committed a crime, he's going to be indicted and convicted. Just like if your ass commits a crime, you're going to be indicted and convicted. So what you mean it's going to be a riot in the street? So I hope all these governors, you're listening. I hope you're going to have the National Guard on standby. What did Orange Hitler say to the Proud Boys? Stand back and stand by. So National Guard, governors, make sure you got the National Guard in your state to stand back. Don't even stand back. Just stand by. Stand ready. All right. Justice Department, you got videotape of Senator Lindsey Graham. Maybe we can call him in for a conversation. You know, we might have to investigate. What did you really, are you inciting a riot? You didn't say they might be. You said there will be. That was a declarative statement from my English teacher, from high school. I learned that in high school. A declarative statement. It wasn't a question. It wasn't a maybe, might be, could be. You said there will be riots in the streets. Like the riots that we saw on January 6, 2021, when you said that Trump, he was a menace to society, basically said, he was a threat to democracy. I'm paraphrasing. That's what you said. You can Google the video. Lindsey Graham criticizes Donald Trump like a day or two after, so that would have been January 7th or January 8th, 2021. All right. Election day, 69 days away. 69 days until Election day. Check your voter registration status. Make sure you and 50 people are registered to vote. And I want you to take 50 people. Y'all go on a party bus. Act like y'all going to see Beyonce live in concert. Act like you're going to the Essence Festival. Act like you're going to the NBA All-Star Game. Act like you're going to New York, New Year's Eve in Times Square. Or act like y'all going to church on First Sunday. I don't care how you do it, but damn it, do it. My guest, he is part of the Geno Jones Show family, a regular contributor, my political expert, community advocate. I'm bringing him on camera. And I'm going to do like DJ Cassidy and pass the mic, because he's coming with the smoke and the heat and the fire. AJ Davis. AJ, I'm a fallback, man. I've already vented. I know there's a lot to cover. 69 days until Election Day. The hypocrisy of these politicians that's gotten millions and millions of dollars in PP loans forgiven, and they bitching about students and working class people, poor and working class people, getting $10,000 or maybe $20,000 if they got a Pell Grant, if they getting that, basically that debt canceled. Now they bitching about that. That's going to cause inflation, but the $500,000 that Marjorie Taylor Greene got forgiven, or the damn near $1 million that Matt Gaetz, keep your teenage daughter away from his ass down in Florida, he got that PPP loan forgiven. I pass you the floor and the mic.
Well, Geno, once again, thank you for the opportunity to be here. I do not take it for granted. You're too gracious with the whole political expert. I'm just a brother out here paying attention. That's what I like to refer to it as. But that whole piece that you alluded to about the outrage regarding student loan forgiveness, especially on the part of Republicans, I think it bears mentioning, and you and I were talking about this before we came on air. It's not just your politicians. You had the Catholic Church of America, Catholic Church USA. They got a $3 billion, again, billion with a B, PPP loan, while they had access in their account to $10 billion in savings and liquid cash.
They got a loan forgiven?
Yes.
Wow. $3 billion with a B?
But here's the piece about that, though. Why would the Catholic Church take a loan out of that magnitude in the first place? Literally. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, when we start talking about the Republican hypocrisy, I hope your viewers understand that that's just going to be a part of their platform. Republicans are going to say one thing and do something else. Conservatives have made that a plank in their platform, and it's at the point now where I don't want to say that it doesn't bother me. It's par for the course. The piece that you also talked about with Lindsey Graham, and I think that's something that bears mentioning as well, is the fact that a sitting U.S. senator, because it was both he and Josh Hawley from Missouri, both of them follow the talking point of riots in the street if President Trump is indicted. Now think about that. Not only is Lindsey Graham a sitting U.S. senator, Lindsey Graham is also a military attorney. He's a
Yes.
member of the JAG Corps. Now,
Yes.
I believe he's not practicing, but he knows better. He knows what incendiary language looks like. He knows and understands. And so for him to say, oh, no, I didn't mean it that way, that just goes to show how far gone the modern day Republican Party is. And as you allude to what's coming up, 69 days to election day, we should also pay attention to what's been happening. So you've got the PPP loan debacle, and shout out, kudos to the White House intern that put that information on the White House Twitter page.
Yes.
As soon as the outrage at the loan forgiveness started hitting the airwaves and media. That is chef's kiss, because that's the way that Democrats are going to have to fight back against Republican rhetoric. Gone are the days of trying to seem as though you're rising above it. Republicans are in the mud. Matter of fact, they're below the mud. They're in the sewer right now.
They under the sewer.
Right. And so, we have to pay attention to the ways in which we see elected officials fighting back. And speaking of fighting back, viewers, I hope you understand that while the national races are definitely enticing, you've got Dr. Oz in Pennsylvania going up against John Fetterman. It's looking like Fetterman is going to really, really push. I don't want to speak prematurely because, again, when we're talking about Republican conservatives, we already know that they are willing to do everything in their power to try to pull out a win. But you've got him, you've got
and that's in Pennsylvania. For those who don't know, that's in Pennsylvania. Right. That's an open. Is that a? I think was that an open seat? Yeah, because whoever I forgot what senator, but was it Toomey? Somebody they're retiring.
Yes, Toomey's retiring.
Pat Toomey.
And you've got Val Demings in Florida challenging Marco Rubio. That's looking pretty tight right there. You've also got
she's leading. She's been leading in all the polls consistently lately, though.
Right. Of course, here in South Carolina, we've got Senator Tim Scott going against Crystal Matthews, and I want people to really. We tend to follow the national races, and we tend to let the national media narrative drive us here, but we really need to understand that Tim Scott is not unbeatable. I really want to emphasize that. I want people
to say that again, because I'm a
Tim Scott is not unbeatable. Tim Scott is propped up by mega conservative donors. His entire political persona might as well be made out of cardboard and cutout. Tim Scott has zero substance that can be pushed towards the benefit of all South Carolinians. Tim Scott is a prop for conservative white Republicans and the few black conservatives that consider themselves conservative. But as a state, we need to get behind Representative Crystal Matthews. We need to get behind because she can win. That same magic that we saw in Georgia, that same magic that we saw in Philadelphia and these other blue cities, you can have that right here. You literally can have that. And that's not hyperbole.
No. And let me jump in, AJ. I got to jump in on that point because I texted you and kind of asked you a question. So, I just got to call it like I see it. I'm like an umpire. I got to call a ball and a strike a strike. And if it's a foul ball, it's a foul ball. Now, Jamie Harrison, I got much respect. I'm happy for the brother. He should be He should be in the Senate right now. I don't know what happened. That was talking about some chicanery, but that's a whole nother story. Jamie Harrison, he is the head of the what's the DNC?
Yes, the DNC,
Democratic National Committee. So the bottom line is Jamie Harrison is responsible for making sure that candidates that are running for Senate, the U.S. Senate and House of Representatives, U.S. House of Representatives, are getting the financial support they need. Now, Jamie, listen, brother, do not sleep on his sister, Crystal Matthews. I'm telling you, she's sharp. You've heard AJ and I talk about it, but I don't understand. I'm not seeing him on anybody's TV, nowhere. I haven't heard him on anybody's radio. I've heard him talking about other Senate candidates, but I'm like, yo, dude, you got a dynamic, talented black woman that's running to be the U.S. Senator in your home state? And I haven't heard you say anything about it, so I'm gonna pass you the mic. But Jamie, I'm just saying, bro, I'd love for you to come on and explain to me why I'm not hearing or seeing any support, especially financial support for Representative Matthews. AJ, maybe you know something I don't know.
So again, I don't know about the inner workings of the DNC, right? So I'm not in that upper echelon. As I said, I'm just a dude that pays attention. But what I can say is, in paying attention and being at the voter level and going through election cycle after election cycle and paying attention to patterns, the Black community, more specifically Black women, have been the anchor that has stabilized the Democratic Party in the South. And it is damn near criminal. And I'm going to say this, and I hope it reaches the ears of the folks that make decisions. Jamie Harrison is from Orangeburg, South Carolina. Okay? Orangeburg, 45 minutes up the road from here. One of the blackest cities in the state.
Yes.
All right?
Got a HBCU there. South Carolina State University.
South Carolina State and Claflin University.
Yes.
South Carolina is one of only 10 states that has a Black population close to 30% of the state.
Thank you.
Okay? So, and let's not forget that on a national level, 53% of the total Black population in the United States resides in the South.
Yes.
Yet, the DNC continues to practice this indifference towards Black candidates. Not only do you have the situation with Crystal here in South Carolina, Gary Chambers, a brother in Louisiana, just literally got his nomination stolen from him. They changed the rules midway to where he had gotten the blessing of the Democratic Party. He was headed towards the nomination as a singular candidate. But because the white female Democratic chair of the state did not agree, did not believe that a Black candidate could win, she made it a three-way, basically saying, here's three candidates to go up against Robert Kennedy there in Louisiana. That literally happened. And so it's that. I have yet to see Harrison make a statement on that. So it's more than just Harrison. It's the DNC in general. And it's sad because you've got the Republicans basically imploding on a regular basis. You've got not only the scandals, but just the fact that the Republicans have no policy except discrimination, bigotry, homophobia, transphobia, and fear-mongering.
Domestic terrorism. White nationalists, white Christian nationalists, domestic terrorism.
And they're embracing that. And the DNC, on the other hand, is sitting back. You've got phenomenal, fresh, new, you've got people who are not your usual suspects. Crystal here in South Carolina. You've got the brother in Kentucky, Charles Booker. Yeah.
Mandela Barnes up in Wisconsin, who's looking real good.
Right. You got Marcus Flowers in Georgia right next door, who's running against Marjorie Taylor Greene. So my question is,
And let's not
Why?
forget, let me just jump in, right next door in North Carolina, running for a
Cheryl
Senate
Beasley.
seat, Cheryl Beasley. She was a former
Yeah,
state Supreme Court judge.
right. So you've got these dynamic black candidates, right? Dynamic in a race in a year where race is on full display. Even if the Democrats did not want to talk about it, the Republicans had forced the issue for the last year and a half.
Yeah, they have.
And here we are. And to let people know what's really at stake, to bring it back down to the local level for a minute here, Texas, paying attention to why this midterm is more than just who we put up in Congress. In Texas, school board races, South Carolina, pay attention. Patriot Mobile, a Christian based telecommunications company, has funded and won school board seats in 4 school boards.
Wow.
4 school boards. A white Christian telecommunications company. All right. And why is that significant? Because when you start looking at the base of where all this Christian nationalism is coming from, it's the educational system.
Yes.
South Carolina, your private schools in South Carolina were religious schools. That's how they escaped having to adhere to the Brown versus the Board of Education situation. And so when we hear, and remember, our government was trying to give public school dollars to private schools, and they did it. They did it in upstate South Carolina. $1 million is going towards the building of a private Christian school, and now all of the Republicans who were a part of that decision are trying to, backtrack and say that was a mistake. They didn't know. That's bullshit. They knew. They knew. They knew. It's just that now people are paying attention. So with 69 days more, I encourage folks who are watching the show, check your ballots. That's number one. Check to make sure that your ballots are correct. If you have moved in the last 30 days, 6 months, year, make sure that your voter registration is up to date. Right next door in Georgia, they purged over 100,000 people from the voter rolls just for inactivity. Remember, Brian Kemp, the governor, used to be Secretary of State. Secretary of State, that position is vital in the election process. So in South Carolina, please check. Go to scvotes.gov to check your voter registration to make sure the information is accurate so that you can see what you're voting in. And then from there, start scouring social media, start scouring Facebook, start Googling to see who's running in your area, looking at yard signs, look their names up. If they're public events, I know that various organizations will be putting out notices about town halls and candidate forums. Attend. If it's virtual, tune in. But we can no longer, especially as Black people, sit back and engage in the same tired politicians ain't doing nothing for us. Republicans and Democrats are the same. That's not true. And I understand that many people have criticisms of both parties. Hell, I do too. But we also have to face reality that as Black people, what happens politically, happens socially, happens culturally, happens economically. Okay, that same criminal justice system that we complain about is driven by those who operate in the political and judicial spheres. So we have to make sure that our influence in that is recognized and understood. We have to build our political capacity. It's not just Republican, Democrat, liberal, or conservative. It's white, Black, brown, yellow. It's humanity versus oppression. That's where we are right now.
Freedom versus the dictatorship.
Tyranny.
Freedom versus lose all of your freedoms and your rights. I got about 30 seconds. AJ, man, you are fired. AJ Davis, quickly let everybody know where they can follow you on social media. We got to run it back next week.
Sure. I'm Anjane Davis, Anjene Davis on Facebook. I'm also AJ Anjane 1976 on Twitter. That's where you see me. I'm also Anjane Davis on TikTok. I drop a lot of knowledge on that now. So again, Geno, thank you so much, and thank you for the folks that are tuning in.
No, brother, thank you. So hopefully you get some time. We'll see you next week because we got a lot to talk about between now and November 8th, brother. Thank you, man.
Awesome. Yes, sir.
All right. Told you. That's my dude right there. Fire. He's coming with this heat, with the flamethrowers and the smoke machine and the fog machine. Man, the Catholic Church of America got a $3 billion PPP loan forgiven. Man, I don't want to hear nobody. If I hear anybody, SMAGA code, if I hear any of you all bitching and moaning about students or just people, poor working class people, if I hear y'all bitching about anyone that's getting $10,000 or $20,000 canceled in terms of student loan debt, I don't advocate violence. But you about to get not cursed out. You about to get cussed out in a way you're going to feel like you just got slapped upside, pimp slapped. That's old pimp slap that they call it. Like, bam! You're going to feel like you got pimp slapped 5 or 6 times verbally. Because I'm going to read you the riot act. I don't want to hear nobody complain about no student loan debt cancellation. I don't want to hear about nothing about it's going to cause inflation. Because if forgiving a $3 billion PPP loan for the Catholic Church of America, if that didn't somehow harm inflation, then canceling student loan debt ain't going to do it. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you. And God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. out in LA, out on the West Coast. Please subscribe to the Geno Jones Show on the Geno Jones channel. You and everybody, you and you and you and you and even you. Yes, MAGA, even your ass. Subscribe to the Geno Jones Show on the Geno Jones channel right here on YouTube. Subscribe, share, like, and binge watch this and every episode. Make this episode go viral. Because, man, we are coming with the pearls, the jewels, the knowledge. This is the conversation. Play this in the barbershop and the beauty salons or the hair salons. Play this at work. You know, you're going to play some ball with your boys in the locker room. Play this in the locker room. Yeah, copy the link. Send this to somebody. Grab some of this and put this up on TikTok, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Snapchat. Snap this chat that we had. All right, shout out to Mr. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show, CEO of Designer Cuts in Goose Creek, South Carolina. Check him out on Instagram, Kel B Cutting Up, KELBECUTTINUP, because Kel, as you can see, be cutting his ass up. Shout out to Allie Jones. I call her the drip director, the official wardrobe consultant, the official stylist for the Geno Jones Show. You can check her out on Instagram, L like Lexi, X like extra, dot N like Nancy, C like Charlie, L like Lexi, underscores that little dash down at the bottom. LX dot NCL underscore, little dash at the bottom. The next live edition of the Geno Jones Show is going to be on tomorrow, Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. And a programming note, Thursday, my guest, R&B crooner superstar, Mr. Kenny Lattimore, brand new song. I think him and his wife about to have a brand new baby. I think I heard that. We're going to find out all of that. I'm going to tell Kenny to spill all the tea, as they say. Spill all the tea and talk about it. Thursday, 6:30 p.m. live, Eastern time. You don't want to miss it. I love each and every one of you. Thank you, Mother. I love you more than life itself. Everybody that's watching me live right now, thank you for watching me live in real time. And if you're not watching me live, but you're watching me, I got nothing but love for you. Like Heavy D said, got nothing but love for you, baby. I got nothing but love for you, honey. I appreciate you watching. All right. So until Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, Wednesday when Serena will be playing, Serena Williams will be playing her second round match that evening. And in the day, Serena and Venus, they have a doubles match. They are playing together. Yeah, we're going to talk about all that Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. I leave you with these words. As always, be blessed and pray for peace. Thanks for watching.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.